Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation and to the sensors in particular. At the New Health Conversation, we absolutely stay within community guidelines because the only thing we ever quote is medical studies that are in the public domain, meaning every person can go and see the medical proof. We don't have to make claims. Everything we do is completely safe. It's all backed by medical proof. We've also written 4 best-selling books with some of the top medical doctors in the world. So again, everything we're sharing with the general public is backed up. It's real. There's no, when I say no copying, it's all original research material that we've done over the past 23 years. So I just wanted to clarify that. So hello, Avery. Hello, Eduardo. Hello, Star. Hello, Bart. Hello, user 817. Under high load, video resolution. What is it saying? Computer under high load. I don't know what that even means, but hopefully you all can hear me. You all can see me. We got no problems. To be honest with you, we've had terrible internet problems over the last couple of days. So I'm doing this out of faith that we've solved them as of this a couple hours ago. So Lena Holt, hello. You know what's so interesting? I just did a live a little while ago. I actually did it on my phone. And what happens is we get people on that kind of want to challenge me and give me hold on one second while I pull this up. Okay, hold on. Oh, we're still having internet problems. I can see that. Okay, we're frozen. That's not good. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Can you all hear me now? Let's go over here to this. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go here. Okay. So anyway, I want to read to you from the medical research about these claims that companies are making that they actually have detox products. Okay, well, this is what the problem is. So this is conclusion as of June 15th. I think that's today, 2025. There are no irrefutable peer-reviewed human trial studies on PubMed or elsewhere that broadly substantiate the claims of commercial detox products for toxin removal, weight loss, or health promotion. Pretty damning, right? Now, the difference is that we actually do have 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies published in the biggest medical journals in the world. They're peer-reviewed, irrefutable medical proof of this incredible new weight loss, but also that it does help to detoxify the body. So when people want to come on and challenge me, it's amusing, but it wastes people's time. We're very serious about trying to help you. So Venezuela, Sexy Yellow, Right 2024, Noriko, Fragment, Johnny, Ultra, Welds, Tara, Brenda, etc. So let's get right into it and show you. Now, miracle weight loss in just 7 days. Well, it's even better than that. I'm going to show you first what they discovered in the medical trials, human trials on human beings. Let's start with Kristen. How many of you would love to be able to lose 21 pounds and 38 inches in a month with no exercise? She was not allowed to exercise. She actually wore a Fitbit to prove she wasn't exercising. I think the thing that's so remarkable with no exercise, look at her stomach on day 1 and look at her stomach on day 30. That is not Photoshop, that's real. I'd love for any of you to put a comment in there. What do you think about that? Do you think we faked it? Do you think it's Photoshop? Do you think it's AI? Because it's not. It's absolutely real. All the pictures that I'm going to show you now are they were part of the medical studies. They're all backed up by medical proof, okay? Let's look at the second person here, Julie. She lost 35 pounds in 37 days, and look at her whole body shrank. Look at that. Now, unless you think it's Photoshopped or we're lying to you, have you ever seen anything like that? I'd love for anybody to put in the comments. That's with no exercise at all. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It's not 10,000 steps or drink more water or make a thing. This is a revolutionary new protocol invented over 40 years of research by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. There are no products. There are no products. This is food. But these researchers put together these new food combinations and then 2 completely new ways of eating food. You'd think after all this time we knew how to eat. Well, they figured out what the most effective way is if you really want to lose this kind of weight in that time frame. And then this young woman is the daughter of a friend of mine. So I'm not going to Photoshop the daughter of my friend of mine, but I'd love everybody to comment. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her midsection. I'd love anybody to comment. What do you, anybody, Happy, Radish, Lisa, Linda, Jerry, Phoenix, Caroline, yes, Yaska. Who else? And can we get some taps on the screen to get some likes going? Well, let's get as many likes going as we possibly can, okay? So who would like to make a comment about that picture? Do you think it's real? Is it the same woman? Did we Photoshop it? Did we change people? Because I'd love to know if you think that's a real person. I mean, it's a real person, but is it the same woman, or do we change women, or do we have a different model, or we just bought another outfit for that person to wear? What do you all think about that? I'm dying to know. Hello, Lori. Hello, Jamie, etc. Now I'm going to show to all the men. I'm going to show you. Now this is an older gentleman. When you see this, you probably think it's Photoshop, but it's not. Okay, look at Curtis, everybody. How about 40.8 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days? Look at his stomach, day 1, day 30. But the most important thing, look at his lab work. His A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides from 242 to 124. That's in 30 days, everybody, 30 days with no exercise. Now, you know, supposedly when you get older, it's harder to lose weight. Well, don't tell him that. I mean, what do you all think about that? You're all being shy today. No one's commenting. So Lori, let's see, Andy, Jose Garcia, Joe Lowe's, Carly, Painkiller, Q of all things, Joy McGinnis. Lots of people joining. Can we get some taps on the screen? I have 1 like so far. Really? Does this material suck? Look, I'm a nutritional researcher for 23 years. Not telling you to impress you, but I want you to understand. I did 20 shows on PBS. I've written 4 best-selling books with some of the top medical doctors in the world. I have done over 1,500 live lectures around the world at universities and hospitals and towns. And for 22 of my 23 years in the medical world, you know what that meant? 0. Why? Because there were no peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. Heck, one of the studies that was done isn't even on the amount of weight that people lost. It was about the improvement in our gut. It's called the microbiome. That is our gut, bacteria, viruses, fungi. It's a whole ecosystem inside of us. This study published in Nature Communications, the #1 medical journal in the world. Gut microbiome remodeling and metabolic profile improves in response to protein piecing with intermittent fasting, intermittent nutritional fasting versus any calorie-restricted diet. This is the top medical journal in the world saying and publishing remarkable results on improving gut and people's health. This is not really a weight loss program. It's not a diet. The weight loss is a throw-in. The main thing that it does, it attacks this medical syndrome that I have and you have and every person has called TDOS. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. What does it mean? It means that every one of us are drinking, breathing, eating chemicals. And as they enter the body's taking that chemicals and stuffing it in our fat cells once the liver can't handle it anymore. And that's what you see, the bloating in his stomach. And then 30 days later, because they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proving that this was removing or helping the body get rid of herbicides and pesticides and Scotch guard and Teflon, all these chemicals that we're storing inside of us. It's not up for debate. Now, one more piece of evidence I want to show you, and then I'm going to explain to you what they did. We'll come back to her in just a moment. This is the cover of Women's World, June 9th, just a week ago, 6 days ago. This is the #1 women's magazine in the world, okay, #1. You'll notice there, over 50 protein miracle. The daughter is 57 years old. She lost 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom is 80 years old. She lost 90 pounds in 9 months, and they both kept it off for over 2 years. I mean, is that crazy? Is that just crazy? I mean, I just think it's crazy good in a really good way. So what I want to explain to all of you is, how did they do this? So let's back up for just a moment. You have to understand, well, no, you don't have to do anything. I'm not your boss. But can anybody give me the definition of a calorie? Because you're on a regular diet, which this is not, you're counting calories. And I'd love for anybody to put in the chat the definition of a calorie. Because one of the things the researchers figured out was, after 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people, no diet ever worked in the long term that they ever studied. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of people who went on any diet in 40 years gained more weight than they lost. The primary flaw with diets is you're about counting calories. Well, first of all, your body has no idea what a calorie is. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. You know what you're hungry for? There's a minimum amount of one thing that we need in our body, and it's not calories. You know what it is? Nutrition. When you go on a diet, here's what they proved. You reduce the amount of food you're consuming, and by definition, you're reducing nutrition. When that happens, the brain figures out there's not enough nutrition and it freaks out, goes in starvation mode, prevents you from accessing the fuel in your fat cell and turns to your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. That's why you all yo-yo on these diets, because when you slow down that metabolism, the brain has to compensate by slowing down your ability to lose weight. But the other thing it's doing to you to make you unbelievably unhealthy when you lose lean muscle mass, you also slow down your own immune system. So the researchers said if they were going to do anything, hi Lisa, Baby Love, Marco, Angry Ape, Don Man, Melanie, they needed to figure out, can we find foods that have larger amounts of nutrition and less quantity? That's exactly what they did. They put together a grocery list that she took and you took. So 30%, only 30% of the food, let's say you bought last month from your grocery store, you'd buy this month from the grocery store because you get a list of foods, proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits that were based on serving sizes, not on calories. Very important. Because remember, what's their goal? They want to give you less food, but with more nutrition. The researchers picked out these foods. You actually get a food list you take to the grocery store. But here was the key. And the research, there's no products involved here. This is all food. The researchers don't sell any food. We don't sell any food. 30% you're going to buy from your grocery store and 70% from these exotic foods around the world, where those researchers had spent over 20 years going around the globe to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food by quantity. You got it? So 30% would come from your grocery store. So, by the way, you buy directly from those suppliers. You don't buy from us. And then they invented two new ways of consuming the food based on this new model, which was less food by volume, but more food, more nutrition. So 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. I hope everybody's following this. 4 meals a day, starting with these exotic foods. That was breakfast. Lunch, meal number 2 from the grocery store list. Dinner, meal number 3 from the grocery list. And meal number 4 was these exotic foods from around the world. So she started her day with these exotic foods. She had a regular food for lunch, regular food for dinner, and a 4th meal after dinner. So she bookended the day with these huge amounts of nutrition. And that's called protein pacing. 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something, now this will spin all of you, called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world. But this time she ate 8 times a day. She ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half or so. Because the other thing that they proved, it was really important. The food in general had to be spaced at certain intervals to get the maximum out of it and to avoid not enough nutrition so you trigger starvation and burn muscles. All these people, they checked their water, they lost none. All of them across the board with no exercise gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise. But that's not even the best part. The best part is that picture's like 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. And some of these studies, which were started in 2012, 13 years ago, they've monitored these people and they've kept the weight off now for 13 years. So I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that there's nothing like this on the planet. Hi, Cindy. Hi, user 162, 162, Ekstrom, Rania, Tanver, Lisa's, Ross, Tanver, again, Q. So again, let me just show you a couple more of the pictures real quick here. Look at Julie, everybody, 35 pounds in 37 days. It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. No exercise was allowed. Look at the body change in her. Now, you can think we photoshopped it. We're lying to you. We did AI. We did none of that. See, the thing that's so unique about us, someone was asking me, what makes you different than the other scientists? I have 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. They have none. Because a man, he challenged me on the last call and said, well, there's detox. It's on PubMed. There's peer-reviewed human trial studies. I just read, as of June 15th, there's not one peer-reviewed human trial study on any of these commercial detox products. It's all nonsense. It's complete garbage. In these peer-reviewed human trial studies, published peer-reviewed human trial studies, they measured through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving that this was helping the body move toxins out of the body. It's a real detox. That's the main reason to do it. The weight loss is secondary. Now, let me show you a real dramatic example. This is the daughter of a friend of mine, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. Look at that, everybody. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Now, you can think it's photoshopped or it's a different woman. Do any of you think it's the same woman or a different woman? I'd love for anybody to put it in the chat there for me. So let's see, Isaac's good, Trendy's good, Mrs. Q is good. Lots of people. We have 2 likes, everybody. Can you at least tap on the, it'll make me feel better that this content is just not going to waste, that you understand that this is same. No, Lisa, you're wrong. It's the same person, 100% the same person. I love the input. She's the daughter of a friend of mine. Do you really think we'd Photoshop this? I mean, then I'd have to Photoshop them all. I'd also have to Photoshop Julie, and I'd also have to Photoshop Kristen. And what about Curtis? 40 pounds, 52. That's an older guy. Look at his stomach. We didn't Photoshop anything. None. Lisa, it's real. This is absolutely real. It's not, see, I know everybody's having their trouble wrapping their heads around it because you've never seen anything like this before. Now, the other thing I want to show all of you real quickly, right above my head there, you can see it above Peter Greenlaw. It says the New Health Conversation. That's the free medical website you all can go to. Guess what? We won't contact you. The only thing there is the medical proof backing up everything I'm saying, including an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the entire world. He and his team invented this. Let him explain it to you. Then, if you like what you see, you can scroll down. It says right above there, free coaching. It's free coaching the whole time, not just your consultation. They're there to guide you, show you, give you your food list, show you how to buy directly from the researchers who have these foods around the world that you can't buy at your grocery store, and then teach you how to do this. That's all free. We got coached. We're like paying it back to everybody. You know, I got medical doctors and physicians assistants and RNs and dietitians and nutritionists and weight loss people. They're all blown away. They've never seen anything. Most, like for example, Joe Lowe's or Lisa, most women lose an entire dress size in 7 days with no exercise allowed. Well, you can see her. I mean, look at Kristen. Look at her stomach on day 1 and look at her stomach on day 30. Well, even her arms. Look at everything shrank. That's not Photoshop. That's real. If that's real, I just joined. It's going, oh, Lisa. Well, we were explaining how in the world this happened. This is a revolutionary new, there are 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies now backing this up. It was, and also more than that, this just appeared on the cover of Women's World, which you may or may not know is the #1 women's magazine in the world. Over 50 protein miracle. It's a whole news story about this breakthrough that was developed by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. After 40 years of research, they've got people losing as much. We can see there. I mean, how excited would you be, Lisa, if you could lose 21 pounds and 38 inches in a month with no exercise allowed? She was not allowed to exercise. Now, do you think you get on the cover, everyone, of Women's World, the #1 women's magazine in the world? You think they'd take a chance to put something on there that was a scam? Especially when they're claiming over 50 protein miracle. Does that make sense, Lisa? Now, I'm going to explain to you what they did, how she did that. So, Lisa, you were saying that you thought it was different. This girl right here, who is the daughter of a friend of mine, who lost 60 pounds in 3 months. It's not misprint. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. But look at her face, arms, and look at her waist area. So let's talk about how in the world did she do that? Well, like I said, for you, Lisa, and everybody, this was invented by the top weight loss researchers in the world, and now it's been proven, published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. They're all saying this is going to make every diet obsolete, that these researchers have cracked the code on obesity and health, because they have. So what they figured out was really pretty, well, it's complicated, but it's not. The problem with any diet is that people are counting calories. The human body has no idea what a calorie is. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. Your body runs on one principle, and that we run on a minimum amount, not of calories, everybody, but of nutrition. So Lisa, when you go on a diet, what you're basically doing is reducing the total quantity of food you're consuming. Well, it goes without saying, when that happens, what else are you reducing? Nutrition. When the brain figures out on any of these diets where you don't have enough fuel, it goes in starvation mode, prevents you from accessing the fuel in your fat cell, and turns to your muscles for fuel. Then it automatically begins to slow down your metabolism. And that's why you lose weight initially on these diets. Then it slows down, then it's a trickle, then it stops. Then you're plateauing. No matter what you do, you can't lose it. Then you come off the diet and all the weight comes crashing back. Yes, because you've lowered your immune system, your Okay. All right. Hold on. Am I back now? Somebody give me a yes? Am I back now? We've been having technical issues for 2 days now. It isn't fixed. So what I'm going to do for all of you, I'm going to show you the website. It's free for you all to go there. You can see it above my head, the New Health Conversation. It has I'll show you the website so you know there's nothing to buy there. The only thing on there are the medical proof, um, the the studies, and also before and after pictures. There are people in there lost 100 pounds. They have no loose skin. The only reason I'm doing this is because there's no way this thing is still acting up, and I don't see any end in sight. Um, so rather than tormenting you and me and everybody else by it skipping and freezing and whatever, yeah, I know it's working now, Lisa and Joe, but I don't trust it. I know maybe in a few minutes it's going to freeze up. Can you give us a hint of what meals you look like? Well, the meals, okay, so the meals are based on 30% of the food you consume is from proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits. But the other meals come from these, they're not necessarily even chewable food. They're teas, they're soups that have been developed by these natives or inhabitants of areas of the world where people living to be 100 years old. And the main concentration for them, not that they don't also eat solid food like proteins, fats, carbs, etc., but they've used this now for 100, I mean, they live to be 100 years old. See, the most absorbable type of nutrition on the planet is if it's a liquid. So the nutrients that come from all over the world are pretty much, you mix them with water, you mix them as a tea, you could make it as a soup, you could whatever. And the coaches go over all that with you. But keep in mind, you're eating nutrition at levels you can't get from regular food. Does that make sense? And all of you, before this thing freezes up, you would get from our coaches, it's called the Blueprint for Success, which is the actual, what they did in the medical studies. These are all, the yellows are daily tutorials from the researchers that'll go over all this. This is all free. All the coaching is free. And all I can tell you is that when you see, how many of you would be thrilled with 20 pounds in a month? Joe Lowe or Lisa Thompson. Is that just crazy? How? Just tell me if you would be excited about that. Let me switch back so you all have a chance to write down the website if you want to go there. The New Health Conversation. And when you go there, like I said, me, Lisa says me. But Lisa, please give me a yes. Amanda, yes. But please give me a yes that you see right above my head in blue. Everybody, because people had trouble reading that. The New Health Conversation. Do you see that? The New Health Conversation. That's where you can see all the medical proof. And if you like what you see, it's not a gimmick, right above, see free coaching to ensure your success. If you go to that website, Lisa or any of you, we won't contact you. We don't need to do that. We let the medical proof do the talking for us. If you like what you see, scroll down, you get a free coach. They'll show you, they'll give you the grocery list of what you order from the grocery store, and they'll show you how to order directly from the suppliers, not from the coaches. We don't sell anything. There's no products here. This is food. And then the coaches will show you exactly what to do to get these kind of results. I mean, 21 pounds, but that's to show it's not short-lived. If you look at, this is my friend's daughter, he's a realtor. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. That's the same woman. No matter how many of you think it's not the same woman, it is. And look, so she figured out she lost 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. So it's not just a short-lived deal. And the thing that's amazing, 8 or 9 years ago, she's kept the weight off now for 8 or 9 years. What do you think about that, Lisa? Is that just unbelievable, that transformation? Kenzie and Company, hello. Join from your post, 857. Lots of people are joining. I'm just really disappointed that we're having these internet problems that are robbing you of, not me, but the medical proof. That's why I'm encouraging all of you, before this thing freezes up again, to go to the New Health Conversation and look at the absolute medical proof. And then if you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free coach. Now the key to this for Lisa and everybody else, it just doesn't look like her. I know Lisa, but I promise it is. She's the daughter of my friend. I'm not photoshopping it. Well, because part of it, look at how much better she looks. Look at how much better she looks, right? It's just crazy. Well, her hair is a little bit different too. It is her. It's the same exact person. It's not her sister. It's not her twin sister. It's her. okay? And so what I'm saying to all of you, that you now have this unbelievable opportunity to go and see the medical proof if that's what you want to do. And here's where you can see it, everybody, right there at the New Health Conversation. That website has all the information, and then you get to choose. If you like what you see, scroll down and get a free coach. I don't know what more we can do. So 30% of what you're going to spend of what you spent last month on food, only 30%. The other 70% should just about cover these exotic foods around the world. That's another big question that we get about cost, because we don't sell anything. You don't buy anything from us. But imagine if you could pretty much spend what you've spent last month and produce these kind of results, 20 pounds in a month. I mean, like Lisa, if you don't mind, how much are you looking to lose? Because I'll give you a realistic assessment about how fast you can lose it safely. So far, so good. It's not stopping. So if you don't mind, Lisa, hurry up and type it in there before this thing freezes up again. And the rest of you, I'd love some comments about what do you think about that before and after picture that's not photoshopped. It's not. Okay. All right, Lisa, I'm not kidding you. 50 pounds easily in 3 months or less, easily with no exercise. That's pretty much our averages. Well, I should be unfrozen now because I can see it on my end. I know it was frozen. So Lisa, did you hear what I said? So you should be able to pretty much match what April did. She lost 60 in 3 months, but 50, yeah, you might lose it sooner than that. We've had people lose 50 pounds in 2 months. Part of it is, what else were you eating? Do you exercise? How old are you? There's a number of factors, but that's why you want to get a free coach, so they'll go over all that with you. They've all done the protocol. They've all coached, in some cases, thousands of people. It's wonderful. It's amazing, amazing community called the New Health Conversation. So before this thing freezes again, everybody, I want to show you the free medical website above my head there, the New Health Conversation. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to see there other than the medical proof. So I'm really going to invite all of you to go there. If you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free coach. It's not nonsense. And they'll answer all your questions. But have any of you ever seen anything like this? Please tell me in the chat, anybody, 21 pounds, 38 inches in a month. That's kind of the least we're used to seeing. So you can see there, Lisa, if she lost 21, she only had 35 pounds to lose. And she lost the 35 pounds, I know for a fact, in about 7 weeks. So Lisa, what would you say about that? Well, the first month you're going to lose probably 25 pounds. I'm just going to tell you that right now. How much would that? We just had a lady on yesterday. She was on day 23. She's lost 22 pounds in 23 days. She was on the live yesterday. I don't even know her, but she was someone that got a coach, whatever. And she says, oh my God, I love this. It's amazing. Lisa, how excited would you be if you lost 22 pounds in a month? But it's not that unusual for us. We see it all the time. This is not a diet. So Lisa, before the internet bombs out on us again, are there any other questions that I can answer for you? I did my best to explain 30% of the food you're going to consume comes from the grocery store list that the researchers created, and the other 70% from these exotic foods around the world. And probably you're going to spend about as much as you did last month on your total food, 30% from the grocery store and 70% from these exotic foods. Now, the other thing that I want to emphasize to everybody, including you, Lisa, and Joe Lowe's, this is all about maintenance. She lost that weight 8 or 9 years ago, and she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, Lisa, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Does that sound like something that might work? Good, Lisa. Wonderful. I'll check out the website. Wonderful. Joe Lowe's, I hope you'll do the same thing. And for all of you, I'm going to end this now because we're having terrible internet problems, and I know it could freeze at any second. Normally during the week, tomorrow's Monday, I'll probably go on around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.